Hey, what's up, fam? Welcome back to another episode of 49 Faithfully. We're your hosts, Miriah Lee and Teran Lewis. TL, what's up, my guy? Happy Wednesday. How you doing?
Happy Wednesday. Hey, I'm doing pretty good. As you can see under my Twitter name, number one never felt so good. We haven't had that number one seed since the last time we actually went to the Super Bowl. So hopefully this time it's good luck. So
Yep.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's definitely a good feeling knowing that we can just go into this weekend. We just get to kick our feet up, chill, watch football, get to find out who our opponent is, and don't have to do no stressing about football. Like, oh my gosh, the bye week during the season was the best week of the whole, thing because it's like I didn't have to worry about like planning some, crazy shows. Like most shows took a break that week, and like I just got to watch football and be just a fan of football, and not have to worry about my team losing, about them, winning, or like having to yell at the TV. And
Exactly.
like I just got to chill, so we get to actually hang out, chill this week. So yeah, we got a good show planned for you guys. Obviously, we don't have a game to talk about. We'll talk
Hmm.
about the Rams loss a little bit. And then, we'll talk about some other things. Got some good giveaways planned. You guys know the drill. What's up, chat? Hope everybody's doing great. Bebop Baroni, first in the door. What's up? What's up? Bebop. Well, I actually got to see what Bebop looks like. Bebop did his, from my knowledge, I don't know, his first podcast, his first live show, with Bryant Culp and David McNiner, I
Oh, okay.
believe. Yeah. Um, so yeah, he was on there. Um, when Ryan had said something about it last night during the show, I was like, one of us. Like, welcome to the gang. We'll see, start doing it more.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, maybe it's something you could get into. What's up, Don? Good to see you. Good afternoon to you as well. We got 49ers Jive. What's up, sir? Hope you're doing well. Good afternoon, Meg. What's up? What's up? Good to see you. Alberto. It's hump day, gangsta. It is. It is. Good to see you. We got Eric in the house. What's up, Eric? Hey, Bundy sold any shoes lately? Because in the thumbnail I put um, Bundy from Married with Children.
I love that show.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Deb says blessings, Taryn and Mariah. Blessings to you as well.
You too, Ms. Deb.
Appreciate you. We got Collie in the house. What's good? Says congratulations on your Michigan National Championship. Yes,
See, you put
sir.
see you put the X instead of
Yep.
the M. All love, man. It was funny. Yesterday I walked into the store and I had on my Michigan gear, and this girl walked in with an Ohio State jacket and gave me a stank eye. I was just like, "Yep, yep, it's that time." Yeah, it was funny though. It's funny. No words were exchanged or anything. She looked at me with my Michigan gear on, and she just kind of like, unbelievable. Like you just tell she was sick to her
Mhm.
stomach. It was funny though.
Why don't you tell us, how you feeling about your win, about finally getting it all, Harbaugh finally getting it all, probably on his way out now. He finally got the championship
Yeah.
win. Looks probably like he'll be heading to the NFL. How do you feel about the whole thing?
A little bittersweet because, after he left the 49ers and he got the job at Michigan, I was like, oh, it's kind
Yeah,
of cool. Like I'm happy that, he's a good coach and we're getting him, and he got so much flack, which is understandable for the first couple of years because he couldn't get out of his own way, had a hard time with Ohio State, obviously. That was like the monkey on his back, and the last 3 years he's been able to dominate them and get that championship. He's probably gone. I hope he actually goes to the AFC. If I had a chance, I would if I was him, if I had a choice, I'd go to the Chargers just because
I think that's where he
they got
goes.
Herbert. Yeah, they have
Hmm.
Herbert, and I would love. If I'm a coach, I'm taking that job. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, like that's the best job out there, I think. So yeah, more power to him if he leaves. If he doesn't leave, I'll be grateful for that as well. But yeah, a modeling gig is going pretty good, man. I'm gonna be on the magazine here pretty soon, and I'm gonna get get the draft here pretty soon, and then after the draft comes, it's gonna go out to stores and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going well. I can't ask for anything more. But yeah, to go back to the Harbaugh thing, yeah, I mean, like I said, he's probably gone, but with the way that this team is built, and hopefully they can get in um, another big name because it is a great job. It's one of the probably top
Mhm.
5 jobs in college football. So
Yeah. Yeah, good. Congrats,
yeah.
congrats. I was pulling for you. I don't have a college team, I follow Oregon, like I'll follow the California teams, but
Hmm.
like I've always just followed like Ohio State and Michigan because, John V, Peachy, there's so many 49ers fans that are Ohio State fans.
Yeah.
So like I just follow it to keep up with what they're, going on about. And then Michigan because you guys so many too, it seems like the
Yeah.
fan base is split,
Breezy.
Ohio State, Michigan, yeah, and then
Yeah.
obviously Harbaugh, so when obviously it was those two in the championship, I'm like, definitely you got to pull for Michigan. Most 49ers fans, I think you had to, unless you're a fan of the other team, I think you were probably
Correct.
pulling for Michigan and Harbaugh. So yeah, it was good to see. I agree. I definitely think he should take that Chargers job. Um, talking about some obviously these last couple days and probably the next few days, a lot of a lot of firing going on in the NFL. A couple things that kind of have to do with us. Well, first, something that doesn't have to do with us, well, kind of, and that is, for those that don't know or do know, Pete Carroll, no longer the head coach in Seattle. He is still going to stay with the team as like a team advisor or, whatever. They just make up positions for people. Um, but like, I'm so like, yeah, like I know that, let me pull up the record. It was something crazy. Um, but like I'm so happy to not see his gum chewing ass anymore on the sidelines. And like I know that the 49ers have like like Shanahan specifically since he's taken over, like they've owned, Seattle as of late. Um but like I'll take our chances to keep owning them. Like I'm just glad to not have to see that old ass freaking chopping that gum, like so annoying. It says a component with the Seahawks job, how to compete with Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay offenses. Seattle is 4-10 in the last 14 games against McVay and Shanahan. 4-10. So it says either the Seahawks get the right defensive guy to combat them or the right offensive guy to keep up with them. So that's what Jeremy Fowler's saying, that Seattle needs to look at for in their next head coach is pretty much how to beat McVay and Shanahan.
Mhm.
Um, you happy you could care less? Are you happy that he's out of there? What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, yeah. Pete Carroll. It's funny because like as good as a coach as Jim Harbaugh was, he couldn't beat Pete Carroll. He had an issue with Pete Carroll. But yeah, this new style of offense or whatever you want to call it, that from McVay and Kyle, he can't stop it, which I love to see it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a good job too. I mean, you can go in there and you can just say, I don't. If you don't want Geno Smith, you can go in there and handpick your own quarterback because they have the weapons.
Yeah.
The good running game, stuff like that. And I think the defense is pretty good. So, yeah, I think you just have to, get somebody like a what is that cat's name? The cat who always does good against Kyle's offense. I think it's Jim Schwartz or whatever his name is. Get somebody like
Mhm.
that to be the D coordinator or something, then bring in a good offensive guru to come in and get themselves a good quarterback. I mean, that's not what I want to see, obviously, but I'm
Right.
saying for the good of the team, that will be the smart thing to do. You know what
So
I'm
hopefully
saying?
they don't
So
do anything smart.
yeah, hopefully they just go and what I would love to see, and everybody, I think he's washed up, but what I would love to see is them go get like a Bill Belichick and him and Pete Carroll just hate each other's guts because one thinks that they're the alpha over the other, and the
Yeah.
team just gets turmoil. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I'm
like
still
49ers Giants says, please
wondering
don't
like
bring Shorts to Seattle because Shorts has our number when it comes to this offense. He knows
yeah.
exactly how to contain it. I wouldn't say he knows how to stop it, but he knows how to contain it.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, interested to see. There hasn't been no word on the Patriots yet to see if Belichick's, in or out. So, Interested to see if that ends up happening. I don't know if their GM actually has the balls to fire Belichick. I
No,
think
I
it
don't.
would probably be if they do get rid of him, I think it'll be like one of those things that comes out,
Mutual
oh,
decisions.
mutually parted ways or whatever their BS that they put
Yeah,
out.
same thing that
Yeah.
happened with Seattle, kind of when they were just
Yeah.
like they didn't
Yep.
fire Pete Carroll, but it was oh they've agreed to part ways as him not being a coach, but he'll stay on the team as a what do you say advisor or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be.
Team
So
advisor
I
or
think
whatever.
I think that could be another good job, too. So Seattle has some nice pieces. You just need to
Yeah.
get the right coaching staff in there and get themselves a serviceable quarterback. But other than that, yeah, I mean,
I hope
obviously,
Harbaugh don't go into the
oh, I
division
know
like
somebody
that
posted
would be
that.
fucking terrible.
Somebody posted that on Twitter and was like, "Would Harbaugh go there just
Just to get back
as a
at Jedork.
fu to as a
Yeah.
fu to York and them?" Like, I think he's petty like that too.
I
To
can
be like,
definitely
"Oh,
see that.
yeah, I can see
Oh
that,"
my
and him
god. I'll be
going after
sick.
somebody. And there's some pretty decent quarterbacks in this year's draft too. So I don't know what if they want to go and get them like a Bo Nix or whatever the case may be. But like I said, even
Yeah.
though as much as I can't stand Seattle, and I hope like see a tweet by not tweet a comment by my colleagues saying somebody like a Vrabel. I wouldn't want him going there either. I
Oh
think he
no.
got a raw deal with the
I
Titans.
hope
I don't
not.
think he should have been fired, but I hope he doesn't go there because he's a good coach and he knows how to motivate his guys and get them to play up to par. So yeah, keep somebody
I could see if
get some
Belichick does leave the
mm,
Patriots, I could see, Vrabel
Vrabel going
going
there.
back.
Yeah, since he played there. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I know the firings aren't finished. I know there's going to be a couple more. Well, we got the Commanders so far. We got the no, not the Cardinals. The Panthers. There's a few of them, right? There's like four
Yeah.
or five jobs
Mhm.
right now that are open. But yeah, to me, I feel like the Chargers is the best job so far. So we'll see. We'll see how this coaching situation pans out for all these teams.
Yep. What's up, Melissa? Good to see you. I know I saw a couple more people joined. What's up, Huxley? Good to see you. We got Brandon in the house. What's up? What's up? Says, so glad I don't have to watch him chew his stupid gum anymore. I know, like that. The first thing, like seriously, that's how bad it is. Like the first thing that popped into my mind when I seen the notification go through that, he was stepping down from head coach, whatever. That was the first thought that came to my mind. Oh, yes, I don't have to watch him chew his freaking gum anymore.
Fool got like the jaws of life, man. For him to
Like,
be a
man,
72-year-old man, it doesn't stop. It's just nonstop. Like, dude, like your jaws ain't tired. Like,
yeah. And it's crazy, speaking of his age, he did say like he don't feel like his age or anything like is an issue. Like he's not tired or like pretty much saying like he thinks he can still be a head coach,
yeah.
but Seattle didn't want him as a head coach
And
anymore,
the man's in shape.
Yeah,
Like,
like they
for
asked him
yeah.
about one of these other job openings, like would he go interview for it? Like would he take a job opening somewhere else? And he said it's too early for him to think about it.
Hmm.
So we'll see if maybe we ever see him coaching again. But man, like he definitely is up there at age, like you said. So
Yeah, 72 is crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
like shit, retire already. Like you got so much money, go freaking enjoy it.
Yeah.
What's up, Bash? Good to see you. Um, is that? Oh, we got BC in the house. What's up, Bryant? We got the wonderful Tanya in the house. What's up, sis? Hope you're doing great. I know there was a name up here. Let me scroll up because I know I had seen somebody else that I'm right here. What's up, Ronnie? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming through. I think let me get through. All right. We made it through. All those that aren't typing in the chat, that are watching, that watch on replay, what's up? Hope you guys are doing well as well. You guys are just as important to us. So we appreciate you guys watching as well. A couple more things with the hiring and firing. And let's talk about Steve Wilkes. The Chargers are a team that have reached out and requested to interview Steve Wilkes for their head coaching job. I kind of gave my thoughts on it on the show last night. And pretty much, everybody knows where I stand. And that is like, I really wish, and like, I'm all for people being able to move up in the world, get their money, take care of their families, please, by all means.
Hmm.
Um, However, the NFL really needs to do something about the interviewing while while teams are still playing, because like I said last night, like this isn't no interview like you're planning to go to an interview at Domino's, right? Where you can just show up and answer 15 minutes worth of questions and head
Yeah.
out the door, you know? Like they have to put a lot of time into study, into get ready, prepare, you know, like a lot of questions get asked during their interviews that they have to be ready for, you know? So it's not just some simple thing. Like they're putting a lot of time into those interviews. And sometimes there's not just one interview. They do the first set of interviews, then they do, you know, cut off some people, then they do a second round of interviews, you know, like, and then if you're interviewing for say 2 or 3 jobs, you know, different ones, it's like you're having to prepare for all those fucking interviews. Like that's taking time away when you're supposed to be preparing for the playoffs and hopefully eventually the Super Bowl. So like I really wish that the NFL would do something about where, you know, all interviewing needs to like be started once the season's officially over. Like the Super Bowl, like the it can be the minute the Super Bowl freaking is done. Okay, start calling your people, getting them set up, having the interviews ready, you know, whatever. And after it's done, they can go. But it's like this where they have to be interviewing during the season. And like the 49ers have to keep going through this. You know, it's like we barely just got him last year. And now we're already having to go through this again where we're going to not only worry about him interviewing during the freaking playoff run, but if he were to get a job somewhere else and leaves, now we have to worry about who we're going to replace him with, you know, and go through all this shit all over again. You know, whether the team's going to like him, whether there's going to be somebody that coaches on the field, whether all these fucking shit that we just stressed about for the last year is going to be all over
Mhm.
again. It's like, I'm so sick of going through this shit.
Yeah.
Like I wish we could just get a DC and like be able to keep him for a few years, you know, like
Yeah.
1 year. And, you know, it's the Chargers so far. That's the only team. And like I said last night, it's unfortunate, but a lot of teams are going to interview him because of the Rooney Rule shit, where they have to interview, you know, a black candidate.
A
So
minority
it's like,
coach, yeah.
yeah, they could want to already hire Jim Harbaugh. Like that could already be a thing that's going to happen, but they have to just interview somebody, you know? So like, I hate that rule. Like it's so stupid
Mhm.
because like we saw like how many times we saw coaches like the enemy have to go through that shit where like he's going to freaking 10 different interviews every hiring cycle and nobody's planning on hiring. They're just interviewing because he was like literally the only black head coach for them to, you know, interview. And it was like, it's disgusting. But what are your thoughts on, you know, Steve Wilkes possibly leaving? And then also, Adam Peters has been requested to be interviewed again for teams, general manager, whatever job. And that the Commanders and Raiders so far, I think that's the only two, could be more by now, have reached out to interviewing him. So again, we're having to come up, you know, like I wish the team would just already put John Lynch somewhere up there, you know, like make up his position like all the other teams do.
Mhm.
And they already did make him up another position. So let's like get him over there and promote Peters already so that we don't end up losing him. That's where I'm at on
Mhm.
it. Where are you at?
So, with my thoughts, I agree with you a little bit, but I understand why they do it. So, like for Steve Wilkes, for instance, if he's really dedicated, and I get it, like I said, you want everybody to go to where they want to be, head coaching job, GM, wherever the case may be. But if he's really dedicated, he can also just say, you know what, no, I'm focusing on the Niners right now. You can interview me later. The problem with waiting on getting these coaches after the playoffs and stuff is because we have the Super Bowl's February 11th. Let's just say we go to the Super Bowl and we win, okay? February 11th. The combine's 2 weeks later. So they want to get their coaches in places now where it's like, hey, I want to be able to have them bring in it because it's a process. You get, let's just say Steve Wilkes went to the Chargers, then he has to bring in his guys and he has to do his interview process and blah blah blah. It's such a process that goes on that they want to start these teams that are not very good want to start their scouting now. Like, hey, I need you to go back and watch the film and do all this stuff. So I get why they do it, so maybe the NFL can push back, the season. There's such a long off season in the NFL. Like, why does a combine have to be so early? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, or you can push the draft back another month, whatever the case may be. Like, I don't feel like it sucks that the NFL, like I said, the Super Bowl is February 11th. The combine starts February 23rd. Like for a new team, you have to get the ball rolling. You know what I'm saying? So I get why they do it, but yeah, it is frustrating when you
No,
are a
I get
good team
why
and
they do
people.
it too.
Yeah, so it's like, plus, but it's one of those things where it's like, and I don't think Steve Wilkes. I personally feel he's going to stay here for at least another year because I
I
think he
think
wants to
so
get
too.
more under his belt because I don't think he just wants to jump into anything and be like, yes, I get it. He was a head coach before. He knows what it tastes like. He knows what the paycheck feels like. But at the same time, I think he's in a place where he's like, okay, I want to stay somewhere consistently for a couple of years, then go to doing what I initially want to do in the first place. So it's kind of it's one of those things where it's tough. So like I said, because like for us, as soon as I mean, I know it's different from us because we had Kyle Shanahan who actually went to a Super Bowl, but like I think if the Falcons probably would have got eliminated wild card weekend or something, we probably would have been hitting them too. Hey,
Right.
let me go ahead and get Kyle Shanahan. So yeah, it's kind of it's hit and miss on how I feel about it, but I get why they do it. But yeah, it is frustrating as a team that has that's locked in and your guys are in place that you don't want people calling you every week, trying to poach all your guys. Give me this guy. I want to interview this guy. This guy, like you said, he has to get ready for a game plan. He has to sit there and watch film on these NFC teams just in case, because you don't know who we're gonna play. Like, let me
Yeah.
watch this. Let me watch so we can have to. So yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, and I think didn't we lose somebody a year ago to the Commanders? Doesn't we don't we have somebody from our staff that went over there? I know we had one to go to the Titans. I thought we had one go to the Commanders as well, but so
I'm not
maybe
sure.
that's why they're if anybody in the chat knows, please tell me. I'm pretty sure we lost somebody a year or two ago to the Commanders from our office, and that's like trying to run that team or whatever. I could be wrong. But yeah, so maybe that's why they're like, yes, let me go ahead and get Adam Peters because they worked with him before. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Who is it, Izzy, if you know who it is? But yeah,
What's up,
so that's how I feel about it. What up, Ty? What up, Izzy? So yeah, that's how I feel about it. But yeah, I think ultimately, Steve Wilkes will probably, hopefully, he declines and says, hey, you know what? I'm focused on the Niners right now. This is, if you still haven't found somebody after we get to where we want to be or whatever, then call me. But that's what I would do. I don't think to me it's fair to the team, in my opinion. I'm not saying
Yeah.
he's wrong if he takes it or if he's right if he does it, whatever. To me, I'm focused on getting that ring so you guys can wait because the right opportunity will be there for you whenever it's ready. So yeah.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
agree. What's up, Chrissy? I see you. Um, let's go ahead and for the people that are
Oh,
here,
here
let's
it is.
do
Martin
the.
Mayhew. Remember him?
Oh, okay.
Martin
Yeah.
Mayhew left us to be the Commander's GM. That's what it was. Yep. So that's
Okay.
why he's probably calling for Adam Peters. Yep.
Let's go ahead and do this first set of giveaways. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do three right now, and then we'll end the show with three as well. So right now we're going to do a George Kittle touchdown masters. I hate this freaking glare. We're going to do the rushing king CMC. And then we're going to show some love to our guy, Jake Moody, and do a Jake Moody. So that's what we're going to do right now. Enter your numbers in the chat, 1 through 100. No duplicates. We'll give you guys a couple minutes to get your numbers in. And yeah, and then we'll go ahead and draw those. We're going to end the show. We have a Nick Bosa, man of mastery. We have a Fred Warner lockdown. And then we have a numbered Ayuk is numbered 250 out of 299. Time stamped with, that wonderful picture that's gone around for years now of him hopping over the
Yep.
Eagles. That was like the first play where people were like, oh shit, who's Ayuk?
Yep. Rookie year too, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, get the numbers in your chat. Good luck, everybody. We'll give you guys a couple minutes. Mods, if you could do your thing and keep an eye, we appreciate you. What's
Yeah.
up, Throwback? I see you.
Mhm. I think the main thing we want you guys to look at, please, is that once she starts showing the numbers, that make sure nobody puts in any numbers after the fact.
Yep.
It's
And
with
then
the
just a
issue with the.
reminder, if we have anybody new in here that hasn't won a giveaway yet, the giveaways, they don't get mailed out immediately after you win them. Usually I try to do it every month. You'll stack up your winnings for the month and then I'll mail them all out together. And I do it that way because if not, I would literally be mailing out stuff every day of my life and spending shipping on stuff to get mailed out one card, like it's just ridiculous. So yeah, I can't do that. I have a life. I am a mom. I am a wife. um and yeah, my life just isn't mailing out giveaways, unfortunately.
And let me tell y'all
And
this,
then
fam.
hold on.
Uh, uh,
And then also, um, unfortunately, life happens. So those that have been watching the show, that have been around, know that the window to my office had got broken out. So, like, I had no access to any of my stuff, the giveaways, nothing in my office for seriously like 2.5 months. And then the week that I got back, I got like deathly ill that I was in bed for a month straight. So unfortunately, I'm behind all those months. So people that are winning a card today, there's already people stacked up waiting for their stuff, like from weeks and weeks and weeks. So I'm working on mailing this week. It is going to go with the people that have had their stuff here the longest waiting. Their stuff's going to go out first. That's the only fair way to do it. So, to keep things going, it's just me. I have to do it how I can do it. So yeah, that's how it is, just so everybody's aware. I try to let everybody know when they send me their address that I will send them confirmation when their stuff goes out. And I do. Once I get your stuff ready to hit the mail, it's all packaged up. I'll send you a picture of your envelope and say, your stuff's going in the mail. So that way you're able to keep an eye out and you know that it's on its way. And you're not just there waiting.
yeah.
At the end of the day, it's free stuff and you shouldn't be bitching about free stuff. I would never. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
that.
pretty much what I was gonna say. Like, yeah, for the people, like, I don't, it's I support everybody on here. I love that you guys support us, in our chat room, watching our show every week. But to get a free card, a free giveaway that's you didn't have to pay for, and to be hitting us up 2 days later talking about, hey, is my card in the mail and all this other stuff. Just please be patient, fam. Like, like I said, it's not like you paid or it was a raffle that you paid for, and this and that. This is free giveaways. So whether you get it in 3 weeks or 3 months, just be happy about it because you didn't have to pay for it. And that's all I have to say. Like, for me to have to hear this stuff, like, oh, is there a tracking number yet on my card, and has it been mailed out yet, and blah blah blah. Like, that's crazy to me. Now, like I said, so that's all I'm asking, fam. Like, please stay out of her DMs, asking her these crazy questions when you won the cards like less than a week ago. Like she said, she does have a life. She is a mom. She is a wife. And then so yeah, so you guys people need to understand, like, we just don't go to the post office every single day and be like, oh, let me mail this, let me mail that, let me mail that. We mail in bunches, okay? So that's all I gotta say
Yeah,
about that.
exactly. Um, yeah. In other words, don't piss off Mariah. But much love, fam. I appreciate each and every one of you. I don't appreciate that when like I put out a tweet, and I'm not expecting everybody to see my tweets and to check my tweets before they message me, but when I put out a tweet that literally says like I'm going through it, I'm not mentally okay, I'm suffering right now, and you're gonna hit the DMs like an hour later at 1:30 a.m. to ask where your giveaway is, um, that's a sure way to get kicked off the giveaways. Let's just say that because, yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So get your numbers in the chat, 1 through 100. Like I said, we're starting off with the Jake Moody, CMC, and George Kittle. Give you guys 1 more minute. Last call. Get the numbers in. Oh, somebody had asked you. Let me see. You can answer this while we wait for them to put their last numbers.
Okay.
Oh, this was about this. They just announced that Saban, or I don't know when they announced
Yeah,
that he
Nick Saban.
retired. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect or anything. I could care less, honestly. I never really cared for the guy, honestly. He came to the Dolphins and showed he couldn't be the coach. Great college coach. So I'm not going to take that from
Mm-hmm.
him. He's won at LSU, won at Alabama. Like the dude's an amazing coach, but as a person, he's always seemed kind of like a scumbag to me, to be honest. So you know,
Yeah.
good on him. I'm glad he gets to retire. Probably gets go spend some time with his family, go on many vacations, do what he wants to do. So yeah, I'm happy for him. So
There you have it. All right. We're going to draw the winners. We're going to draw Moody first, and then we'll draw CMC, and then we'll draw the number for Kittle. So, no more numbers.
nope, no more numbers.
And let's draw. Good luck, everybody. First number for Moody is 51. Second number for CMC is 39. And the number for Kittle is 4.
That would have been funny if 4 was for Moody. All right, let me go back up there and
So
take a
give
look at
us a
this.
minute to find the winners. And like I said, we'll be closing the show with a giveaway for Ayuk, Bosa, and the Iron Man, Fred Warner. Let's see who the lucky winners are.
Uh-huh. Let me see. So it's looking like for the Moody card, it's going to be Don with number 49.
Don. Congrats, Don. Moody will be added to your winnings.
For the CMC, it's Izzy with number 38.
Melissa. Congrats. CMC is going to Melissa.
Let me see. Number 4. Who got the lowest number? Because I don't think I saw any single digits.
Kittle. What's up, Denise?
Hey, Denise.
What's up, David? What's up,
Okay,
Ryan?
had to scroll up a couple times and make sure I saw the least number, the lesser number, and it looks like it's number 22 for. Oops, I just passed it for 49ers Jive.
49ers Jive. Getting George Kittle. All right. Congrats. Congrats. We'll do the other 3 to close the show. Let's just for the Rams game, if you have any final thoughts on that, if you have anything you want to talk about when it comes to that game. Obviously we know Jake Moody had the 2 misses, the extra point, the field goal. That seems to be the big thing that everybody was pissed about
My
during the
gosh.
game, and people are losing their minds, which by all means, yeah, be upset. Like, I don't want my kicker missing anything, period, right?
Exactly.
But hopefully he goes into the playoffs and we don't have no problem. Since coming out of the bye, he's been great. He had a great end of the season, like from the bye on. We know that he started off a little rocky, but up until this last game, he hadn't missed the extra point all season long, not one single one. So for him to miss that, was obviously something was weird. Something was
Mhm.
off. The only thing that scares me is like he's missing this shit at home. Like, it's not like he's missing this stuff in Green Bay when the weather conditions are minus 20 and 3 foot of snow and
Mhm.
like it's playoffs and the game's on the line and we're needing him to kick the winning field goal and he's missing. Like he's missing and there's no wind at home, great conditions, everything perfect as it could be. And it's just like, man, like we need you to be your best right now going into these
Mhm.
playoffs because, good thing we got home field advantage.
Mhm.
So, but if he's missing at home, that really doesn't help us either. So hopefully it was just a fluke thing. His pinky toe was hurting and whatever. But yeah, what's your thoughts on the Rams loss? Obviously, too, I wanted to win that game. I didn't want to lose, even though it doesn't
Yeah.
count, but I mean, it does count against the record, but not, as far as playoff seeding. But like, I wanted to sweep the division. I don't want the Rams to
True.
beat us ever, and I don't want Sean McVay to beat us ever. So I did want us to win, but obviously, I wasn't as mad about it as other losses.
Mhm. So, if you guys remember, after our bye week, we came back, and he had been perfect since October 29th. So this is a rookie, for everybody to sit there and like I said on the show with Ryan Hensley, people expect, you know, kickers aren't important until they are. You know what I mean? That's how it feels. Like people don't talk about the kicker. As soon as he has a bad game, it's he needs. What's Robbie Gold up to? What's this,
Hmm.
and that? But it
Yeah.
sucks because it's like he's been perfect for 6 weeks, and it's crickets. Nobody acknowledges the good. They want to point out the bad. I get it. You have every right to be concerned going into the playoffs because he's never done it before. So I get it. And Ty, you hit the nail on the head. Your tweet was perfect.
Yeah.
10 out of 10,
Hmm.
12 out of 10 for that tweet. If you're going to support, and I don't care about what Brock Purdy's proven more, I don't care about that. If you're going to support Brock Purdy after throwing 4 interceptions, you support Jake Moody for missing an extra point and a field goal after 6 weeks. Like the man
Mhm.
was perfect. So I'm glad that we had our bye. We have our bye right now. Get some time to
Yeah.
work on it. I don't know if you want to bring out a powerful wind machine and have it facing him, just so he can face some little adversity, stuff like that. Just do what you need to do to get this man
Yeah.
right. Because, like I said, I'm not saying that you don't have every right to be disappointed. I'm not going to tell you how to fan, but all I'm saying is support the team through good and bad. You know what I mean? Everybody's all tweeting, "Oh, he lost us 2 games." You know what? We were up 20-7 at halftime. 20-7. So to put the game on the kicker
Yeah.
after having that two-score lead is absolutely mind blowing to me. Like, stop it, people. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, it sucks. And like I said, but he's somebody put up the percentages, and he was actually pretty good all season, and they put him
Yeah.
up with, like, some of the people from, like, some of the best kickers with the McPhersons and the Justin Tuckers. They've missed too. You know what I mean? Like, if you expected this man to go, 80 out of 80 on extra points and then 36 out of
I hear
36
you.
or whatever on field goals, you guys are crazy. Like, it's going to happen. But like I said, I think he'll get it together. I'm sure now he's on cloud nine because his Wolverines won the championship. Hopefully he goes in there with a little bit of, like I said, from what fans call it, we're gonna go out there and blow everybody else. We might not even need him anyway. But yeah, if it comes to a time
Well, that's what
where
Jive said that,
oh, is that what he
to
said? Oh, so
make things so that it don't, go on Moody and we don't have to worry about Moody missing. Beat
yeah,
teams far enough ahead so that you don't have to worry about it.
not to worry about it. Yeah,
Score a fucking
too.
touchdown.
I will say this: if it's a tight game and he goes in there and he misses, then you guys have every right to be upset.
Yeah.
But don't
Mhm.
give up on the guy though. Like it's still a team effort. And at the same time, if he goes in there and he kicks a field goal to win us a game, I want the same energy. I want y'all to
Exactly.
be like, hey, yeah, man,
Make
we
sure
were
the
down by
praise is
two.
as loud as the hate.
Exactly. We were down by one. He kicks us a field goal to make us win by two. I want to see. I want to see the encouragement and the clapping of the hands for him whenever if he does win us a game. So yeah, I just I love our fan base, Mariah, but sometimes we're too emotional. We live in the moment.
Mhm.
Look at all this Steve Wilkes needs to be fired hate during the bye week, and now, oh, don't take him from us. Don't take him from us.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy to me. Like these people, man, it's just yeah, it's just it's crazy how people just change their emotions with the click with the flip of a switch. It's just like, oh, like so. Yeah, just like I said, support everybody on the team, though they're good and bad. We're gonna be okay. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Brandon said, and here's the numbers: 60 for 61 extra point and 84% on field goals. He's a rookie, so I can tolerate his learning curve. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you for those numbers, Brandon.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I mean, I'll take that any day, especially from a rookie. Like, people are just so, and Melissa, have brought this up too. Like, people are so ready to give up on rookies so fast these days. Like, it's so crazy. It's like there's no developmental league, like you go through college. A lot of these guys, they're going a couple years of college and right into the NFL. And, some get thrown right into the fire and they're expected to just pick up everything the NFL has, and do great. Like, they're not supposed to have no learning curve. They're not supposed to have time to learn. They're not supposed to anything.
Mhm.
You need to walk through the door, rookie mini camp, and be a fucking go out on the
Ready to
field
go.
already.
Yep.
It's like, it's crazy. It's like,
Yeah, you're right.
like, even I'm like, I love Ronnie Bell. I think he's going to be a great wide receiver, but
Mhm.
it's like when he had to do return duties because Ray Ray's out. And trust me, I wasn't happy with the way he was returning.
Mhm.
Trust.
Same.
Um, but like, people are already like, get him off the team. He can't return. Blah blah. We didn't draft him to be a returner. He's a
Exactly.
fucking wide receiver. He's having to fill in because our returner's hurt. So he didn't practice all off season, all season long to be in that job. He was thrown there at the last minute because we didn't have anybody else,
Exactly.
and it's like, so, and he doesn't do that great. And people are ready to already like kick him off the team, trade him away. Like, and it's just like
It's
so
wild.
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and you're right, Mariah. This ain't the NBA and the MLB. When you get drafted to the MLB, you go up the ranks. You have single A, double A, triple A. You get time to develop. In the NBA, you got the NBA G League where they send you down to get reps and stuff like that. We don't have that in NFL. You come in and boom, you just need to go ahead and commit to this team and start producing right away. I don't care if you're a rookie. That's how some fans think. When it's at the same time, it's like, man, you got to understand, like, not everybody moves at a different level. Some rookies come in and you're a beast. You got to remember too, Ronnie Bell was a seventh round pick. Like for him
Yeah.
to go in there, oh, you're gonna. I'm sorry, man. I know this is not your forte, but you're gonna have to go in there and return punts because Ray McLeod is hurt. I'm sure. I mean, you throw anybody in there who hasn't really been doing it, you're gonna be like, man, it's gonna be some issues. So I agree with you. He's gonna be. I think they drafted him to be like a third or fourth receiver on this team, and not to be the
Mhm.
punt returner. And I think he's well ahead of that curve. When he's played, he's done well in games. Yeah, he's had some drops, stuff like that, but who doesn't? Ayuk has drops, you know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
nobody's saying to kick him off the team. Like, come on, you guys had to give people their time to develop, man. You guys, some of you people, not you guys. You guys on here are perfect. I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about the people on Twitter and all these other social media platforms that sit there and cry over a drop ball or whatever the case may be, like their lives are perfect. I'm
Mhm.
sure at their job they make mistakes too. So
Yep. So 49ers Drive says Bell just needs some time in the doghouse. Look what it did for Ayuk. There was
preach,
some
talk to
looks
them.
game, the Rams game. There were some looks like when he came, there's like that when he came off the sideline and you see like it was going around where Kyle has his paper and he's like trying to say something to him and Debo's standing right there. But the look on Kyle's face, like it looked like he was ready to pick him up by his underwear and throw him in the doghouse right at that minute.
Hmm.
Like, I was like, oh boy, this boy's in trouble.
Yeah.
um, all right, so a couple things, just obviously we know the regular season's over, so we're gonna do a reward. I mean, not a reward, an award show once. Once we win the Super Bowl, then we'll do it, or if we get out before that, then we'll do it. But I'll say once we win the Super Bowl, then we'll do our awards show for the entire season. But kind of just looking back on the season, and I asked the guys this last night, and I think it's just good to see all of your guys's options for this because there's so many different things. Um, looking back on the season, and obviously I didn't give you the questions ahead of time, so you have no
Mhm.
idea. So it's just going to be thoughts that just pop to your head. So that's the good part about it. Um, looking back on the season, some special moments on the season or favorite plays from the season that you can think of. I'll start while you think about it. And this is
Mm.
the one I gave last night as well. And it has to be me being, Ayuk is my guy, my
Mhm.
number one. It has to be that long ass touchdown to Ayuk that it ended the season as the longest touchdown. I mean, the second longest touchdown this season. At the time when it happened, it was the first longest. Um, but man, like it just felt like, and that was against Tampa Bay. It just felt like at that moment, like he finally, it was like 70 whatever yards, a touchdown. I can't remember, 74, I want to say. Um, but it just felt like at that moment, like so many fights up until that point I've had about Ayuk, about
Yes.
people not thinking he was the guy. And I'm talking about from the second he was drafted. Like I've been just fighting for this guy like he's my son. Um, so, like, and then going through, so it just felt so great for me to finally see, like, you guys said he couldn't be, he wasn't a number one wide receiver. You wanted to
Mhm.
say all this shit. And look, it was the freaking quarterback that was holding him back. Like I tried to tell you guys for years. And then knowing that him like was begging on social media to finally to get a deep ball, right? Like deep ball me please, his famous like Twitter tweet out there. Like the guy hardly even puts anything out on social media and he's putting to deep ball me please. And finally, watching these quarterbacks from all these teams, we talked about this, like the Josh Allen, these quarterbacks with these arms that can make these amazing plays, and it's like, oh my God, like wanting that so bad. It just felt like that all came together at that moment. Like we got to see Purdy, prove all the doubters wrong. Like, yeah, I do have an arm. I can throw downfield. It just isn't all yak, right? The surgery, off-season surgery, there's nothing to worry about because my arm looks better than before. The all the Ayuk criticism up to that point, and just all my pain and suffering from a Ayuk fan up until that point. It just was like, oh, just felt so good. So that's one of my favorite moments from this season.
Okay. I like to call Brock Rookie of the Year just because of the simple fact that he had. I don't know if anybody's ever watched that movie, but the little boy broke his arm, and then before you know it, he had a better arm after he broke it. That's Brock Purdy to me. It's like where that arm strength come from. And Debo made a comment like, "Oh, that boy been in the weight room." You know what I mean? So I think I wouldn't say there's a favorite moment, but I'll say my favorite thing throughout the whole season. Every time Brock Purdy would have like, we went to that stretch before the bye week having those three straight games of being horrible, and then we had the Baltimore game. Everybody was looking for him to go back to, oh, he's gonna go back to how he looked at Iowa State. He's going to be, he's gonna show everybody's caught on to him. They're gonna show how he really is. And every time he had some adversity, he came back from it. Anything he doesn't let anything get to him. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that, I said it before, like, when he got hurt, he could have easily been like timid all season
Yeah.
because he's seeing somebody come off that right side and he's like, crap, like he's timid. No, he let it fly. He let it play. He went out there and continued to play his game without any fear. So that right there to me is a huge moment because I mentioned this before, kind of like what Adrian Peterson did when he broke his ACL. And they asked him, why, man, you ran for 2,000 yards, the most you've ever had after a torn ACL. He's like, I'm still going to keep my faith in God and go out there and play my game. I'm not going to play timid. And Brock
Mhm.
Purdy, because he didn't play timid, he didn't have a bad season. He had a season where he was in MVP talks. So the fact that he came back from the injury, had a little bit of adversity during the season, after the Baltimore game, 4 interceptions, people were like, "Oh, put Sam Darnold in," and all this other crap. People get so emotional. He comes back, and I don't care if it was against the Commanders. He comes in, he has no turnovers. He throws for 2 touchdowns. So yeah, so the fact that this man went through so much in the offseason and has bounced back and almost had I mean, he still could win it. That's not over yet. But the fact that, he was in MVP talks, I give that to Brock Purdy because of the adversity and all the situations he's been through all season. So I would say that's my favorite moments of the year.
Yeah. And even, when you talk about like, and we talked about this, the mental side of things, and then to go and play the Eagles, right? The team, you're going back into Philly where the injury happened, playing the Eagles. And then like remember that like almost exactly how he had his injury, like that happened again. Like the,
Hmm.
the rusher got through on the side, came through, grabbed his arm. He went down at a point, after that. And it was just like, I think pretty much everybody watching like held their breaths, like, holy shit. And it's like, then he got up and like nothing, it's like he had
Hmm.
no fear to even face the team, face the exact player that took him out, you would have never even known. You would have never had a clue that injury and all that happened there in Philly because
Hmm.
it didn't phase him. Even the very first game back, is we're in Pittsburgh to start the season. And I talked about this as one of my favorite moments of the season too. And that was the entire game to start the season against Pittsburgh because it just answered so many questions. And the
Hmm.
big thing was, to wrap it all out together, was it answered so much questions about Purdy, about his off-season surgery, about any question that we had up until that point. They went in, people were thinking, oh, you guys are going to lose to Pittsburgh. Purdy can't face that defense coming off of surgery, yada, yada, yada. Our offensive line, all this. And yeah, the offensive line didn't have the best time, but you're going against Watt, right? That beats everybody. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if he's
Hmm.
going against Trent Williams. The guy's freaking winning, right?
Yeah.
So he's coming off, he's sacking Purdy. He is, down Purdy's throat the entire game. Purdy,
Yeah.
cool as a freaking cucumber, just like the Purdy that
Hmm.
we know and love. You would never know that he was out because a rusher came and ripped his arm off, and now he's facing one of the best pass rushers in the league, his very first game back. And you would have never known, like, it didn't phase him at all. He could give
Hmm.
two shits less. And
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I love about that kid more than anything. It's just his confidence, I don't know. It's just like when he gets on that field, like he's such a quiet and people, make fun of him. Oh, he's a nerd. He's this, he shops at Kohl's, like all this shit. Yet
People-
he steps on that field and it's like a completely different person. Like you would never think that it was that nerd that shopped at Kohl's because he's there, he's shooting up ice into his veins, he is, sliming, like everything. Like that's what I want in a fucking quarterback right there.
Mhm.
And like I just love it.
It's funny to me. Like this man he's in San Francisco, or let's just say, or Santa Clara, whatever we want to call it, one of the most expensive places to live in the world, in the United States. The man makes less than $1 million, probably getting taxed up to you know what because he lives in California. Who cares that man shops at Kohl's? Like worrying about that man's wardrobe is
Yeah.
comedy to me. Like
Yeah.
it's just
Stupid.
ridiculous. And then so he's sad. It's a joke, but it's like people say either you can make 600,000 in San Francisco, but you're still in poverty because how expensive it is. So
Yeah.
yeah. But the way talk keeping it on Brock Purdy, like every time somebody talk trash. Oh, I see tales of this 49ers offense, like week one, like Holly said, they were
Mm-hmm.
like Patrick Peterson up there running off at the mouth. Oh, I see tails. I guarantee myself at least two interceptions. He didn't get nothing. He was getting cooked by Ayuk.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that, and all they told Brock, hey, well, Patrick Peterson said he sees tails. He says, we'll see.
Yep.
That's all he said. He didn't say like, oh no, I'm gonna cook him. He didn't talk any trash. He just said, we'll see. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so the fact that he just stays cool, calm, and I've said this before, like he doesn't have all the intangibles, that you want, that you would like. I will say in a quarterback, as far as you look at the physical gifts, but
Mm-hmm.
he has what he needs up here. And I've said this, like as long as the coach trusts you and you trust the coach, it's great. Because all Kyle is saying is throw it anticipation. This guy's gonna be open, and because he trusts him, they trust each other. That's why this
Mm-hmm.
offense works.
Yep.
Everybody said it before, like what just this is just to bring up Trey Lance. Trey Lance didn't trust what he saw. He thought, well, I don't see it open yet, so I'm not going to throw it. But
Mhm.
Kyle's like, no, throw the ball. You'll see that it's open. That's what Trey Lance's issue was. He didn't trust Kyle, and Kyle really didn't trust him. So the fact that he found somebody who he can trust is awesome. So yeah, so let's give a shout out to that. And yeah, so that was my, um, I guess my positive takes of the season. You asked my negatives as well.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, my negative, I'm gonna give it to the D line. Until we got Chase Young, this D line was not functioning up to par. You had Bosa with the holdout. You had Hargrave, who we thought was going to come in and just be this monster up the middle. I'm not saying they
Mhm.
didn't play. They played good, but they didn't play up to par. And
Exactly.
everybody was crying about when they saw the All Pro list that was voted on by the players, and it was like the guy from the Raiders and all this other stuff, and Miles Garrett. Oh, where's Bosa? Stop being a homer.
Yeah.
Bosa did not have the production as a Miles Garrett or TJ Watt. So stop. Like he didn't have a great season. He didn't have a Bosa season. So
Those
to
guys
sit
are
there
disrupting every single game.
every game, and
Every game.
they don't have the help that they have. They don't even have the help. Like, I always say it. You had Armstead on there. Armstead should have been the one who probably should have had the 10 sacks or whatever the case may be. You had Armstead, you had Hargrave, you had Nick Bosa. You had three good to great defensive lineman, and there was no production until we traded for Chase Young. So that was
Mhm.
a disappointment in my eyes, and that's why I was getting upset when people were calling for the job of Steve Wills. So what about this D line? Because they weren't given, like you said, Mariah. Those other guys I mentioned, the Miles Garrett's, the T.J. Watts, the Max Crosby's. You can say whatever you want. Them guys had better seasons than Nick Bosa. As a Niners fan, you have to accept that and be real about it because he didn't play
Mhm.
up to par. So that was my disappointment, and also Hafunga going down hurt. Like that right there was a disappointment
I
for
hate
me.
that.
I wish, yeah, that's not like my brother said. Drake Jackson has 3 sacks week one, and then it was crickets from him the rest of the year. Like what happened? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So those two, just the D line in general. After the Chase Young trade, the D line played good, but before that, even with who we had, we should have been getting more pressure and more sacks on the quarterback. So that was my disappointment for this team is that defensive line.
I think once, they made the trade, they played better, but I
Hmm.
still don't think they've played up to my expectations.
No,
Like,
not
I
at all.
expect that D-line to be dominant and I talked about this on the show last night. One of my disappointments, and not because he's played terrible, but is Chase Young. Because, like, we trade for him expecting that he's gonna come opposite Bosa. He's filling in the only piece that we needed at that time with a healthy Hargrave, healthy Eric, healthy Bosa.
Hmm.
You're supposed to now you got all pros all the way across. You're filling in that one spot. That line should be fucking dominant. They should be
Easily.
fucking killing
Yep.
it. And they weren't, they haven't been. So it's just like, yeah, like he hasn't played bad, but it's like when we first traded for him, and still to this day, people are talking about, oh, we're not going to be able to pay Ayuk because we had to pay Chase Young. So we're going to pay this guy, top edge rusher money for what? We're already paying
Exactly.
guys top edge rusher money, top center line of the D line
D
money,
line. Yep.
and
Defensive
for
tackle.
what?
Yep.
Like we're not going to pay the guy that we drafted, that we molded into the wide receiver that he is now. We're just going to let him go and be fruitful on another team so that we can
Hmm.
play some other team's cast offs. Like, I'm not cool with that.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. It's just like you had mentioned about the AJ Brown thing. You were like, don't trade away a player that you picked high, you groomed yourself, turned him into a superstar, and then you get rid of him. There's not many situations where you have when you lose a Stephon Diggs and then you get a Justin Jefferson. Like that's rare.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
rare that happens. So yeah, it's true. And and I said this before. Like I don't know what's going to happen with this off season stuff. But if I had to pick, I would try to do something with Eric Armstead's contract to lower that so we can get Chase Young because I would prefer Chase Young over Eric just because it's easier to get a defensive tackle than it is a good edge rusher. But
Mhm.
to sit there and say that you would rather pay Chase Young over Brandon Ayuk is absolute foolishness.
Yeah. Stupid. Let me say what's up to a few people that have joined. We got Brandon in the house. What's up, B? We got Red Jet Shell in the house. What's up, Shell? Yeah, Adam, what's up, Adam? Um, got Jess. What's good, Jess? I have Cole's cash. What the fuck about it?
Exactly.
Let me see. We got Steve-O in the house. What's good? We got Italian Niner. What's up? What's up? Good to see you. We got Tony Cope. What's good, Tony? We got TL's bro in the house. What's good? What's good? Bang bang Niner gang. Let's get that ring. All right. What's up, everybody? Hope you're all doing wonderful. Oh, let me see. We got Carcast in the house. What's good? You got Tom in the house. What's up, Tom? Good to see you. And everybody that's not in the chat, again, good to see you all. Hope everybody's doing great this Wednesday. It's funny that you brought up the relationship between Kyle and Purdy and that trust, because that was one of the things literally I have written down here to talk about. And, before the season, I had said that Kyle Shanahan that trusts his quarterback and a quarterback that trusts Kyle Shanahan back is a dangerous combination. Mm-hmm. That offense would be lethal if we saw that happen. And from that first game, obviously, yeah, we know they closed out the season together. But new season, from that first game, you could just tell, like you said, there was this trust, a trust that we haven't seen Kyle have for any quarterback on the 49ers.
No.
That's Jimmy, definitely not. You could tell by Kyle's play calling, by the things he did, by the way he acted towards Jimmy, he did not trust him whatsoever. Obviously, Mullins, CJ Beathard, all
Brian
these,
Hoyer, yeah,
Brian Hoyer, all these dumbasses. You brought up Trey Lance. We could see. Now we're seeing an offense that, pretty much the entire season, except for obviously those 3 games that we lost and whatnot. But this offense pretty much has put up 30 plus points every freaking game throughout the season, consistently. I talk about this all the time. Like, we had an offense in 2019 as we're trying to win the Super Bowl that we're having to rely on the defense to win games for us, because the offense could barely sputter up fucking field goals. They'd get down into the 10-yard line, field goal. Could not get a fucking touchdown to save our life. Like, Kittle's freaking has barely a handful of touchdowns, like, his entire career up until until we get freaking Purdy. It's like our guys weren't being used because we had a freaking quarterback that couldn't use them. Now you're seeing a quarterback that can take advantage of everything. He could take advantage of every area on the field, and you can see that by the play calling. We no longer have defenses clogging up the middle, fucking trying to stop the run, because they can't. Like, we finally, like, you look back at that playoff game in Green Bay where, like, Jimmy threw a handful of times, like, hardly fucking threw the ball. If that doesn't show you that your coach doesn't trust you, and I don't care how well the running back's fucking running, you don't see that in the modern day NFL, that the coach is just going to take the ball out of the quarterback's hands.
Exactly.
Like, now we finally have an offense. It's like, yeah, this is a rush first team. Everybody used to always say that, oh, run first team, because we had to be. We didn't have a fucking choice. Now, like, we can have a more balanced offense, and what's it's doing? It's keeping the defense on their toes. Yep. So, I think, this relationship between Shanahan and Purdy can only get better. The bond's only going to grow stronger. Like, this is their first full season together. And look at what we've seen from the offense. Like, I have a picture saved here, and that was about the football from the Commanders game going into the Hall of Fame, because that was the game from the ball that put, a game ball from the 49ers win over Washington in week 17. when they became the first team in NFL history with a running back, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end with 1,000 scrimmage yards in the same season. So that ball went into the Hall of Fame. Like, we have a quarterback that can do that. That's what Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy have done together in their first full season together. Think about what the future holds. Like, it's dangerous. If this kid stays healthy, hopefully, you know, man, like, I cannot wait. Like, as a 49ers fan, like, you know, and I asked the guys this last night, what season was better for them as a fan, 2019 or 2023? And all three of us said 2023. And the main reason, Brock Purdy.
Yeah. Yep, this offense is probably the most special offense he's had since he was the offensive coordinator when the Falcons went to the Super Bowl, when he had Devontae Freeman and Julio Jones and all that. And that offense was very well balanced because you had Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, who I almost said Tevin Campbell. That's funny. Tevin Coleman, who both were running amok, and then you had Julio Jones and um, Taylor Gabriel and a couple other guys that they had, Aldrick Robinson, who was out there, you know, as a deep threats and stuff. So yeah, it's been good. This offense has been special, like you said, with all the players on this team. Like we called it before the season even started. Like, this offense stays healthy. It's honestly unfair because you have
Yeah.
to literally pick your poison of who you're gonna guard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you gonna go? You can't double team anybody because that's gonna leave somebody open. And like you said, and I said in the beginning, quarterback, and that can be with any team. A quarterback who trusts his coach slash offensive coordinator, and a coach that trusts his quarterback, are a dangerous combination. It's dangerous, especially when you have all these weapons, when you have to pick and choose your poison. So, yeah, this offense has been great. And like somebody said, I think it was Brandon or somebody said, yeah, like this is the first time where the defense didn't have to like play excellent to win us games. The defense can slump a little bit and we can
Exactly.
still win. So,
Yep. Let's go ahead and have you guys start entering your numbers for the giveaway to end the show. Again, those that just joined, we're doing, let me show you. This is the ending giveaway. We already had our half point giveaway. So to end the show, God, this glare. I can't wait to get my
yeah, it's
office
pretty.
back to normal. Nick Bosa, Men of Mastery. We got Lockdown, Fred Warner. And we have a numbered Ayuk.
Okay.
So that's what we have to end the show. Get your numbers in 1 through 100. No duplicates. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, I saw that cast about that shooting of that fan that died and stuff. Like, it should never be that serious.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, yeah, it should never be that serious. And it's crazy because you don't see that like at basketball games like that. It's usually either baseball or football, which is crazy. So yeah, it should never be that serious. Like, to sit there and take somebody's life over a football game. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. For those that don't know, and if you can't see the screen, Carcass said, I know this is not 49ers related, but there was shooting after the Bills Dolphins game, and a 30-year-old man got shot and died. Bringing this up to show that this should never be this serious.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
It's, we talk about this all the time. Like, I always am constantly telling you guys for away games, like, be safe, be safe. I want you guys back here next week. And like, I'm for real, because it's like we've seen as each year goes by, there's more and more fights breaking out of games. Like, fans are just out there being fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And not just at games, the whole world, people like are out there
Yeah.
being nuts everywhere you go. So, I mean, of course at the games too, but it's like, what do you have to fight over at a fucking game? It's like, because you got fans of another team. Like, first of all, I'm not wasting the $500+, that you and your
Man,
spouse or whoever paid to get tickets into the game.
parking, food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
parking, the pain in the ass it is to get in and out. Then you're never going to be able to go back there again. You could go to jail, right? Like, have to deal with all that shit, the fucking that it puts on your life, And
Mhm.
all because you can't control your anger and
Yeah.
have to fight somebody. Like I say, like I keep myself out of situations. Like I won't go to the game at Philly because
Oh
not that
no.
I don't trust myself to act right and not get in a fight, but the thing is that I'm not going to let some fans, like they could say all they want to say, but those fans are like throwing shit on you, like, spitting on you. And it just takes one fucking thing to hit my wife and somebody's getting knocked the fuck out. So I'm not putting myself in that position to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Simple as that. But some places, yeah, you can't control it. Shit happens, and you could be in the wrong spot, the wrong time. Somebody could just come up and hit you. What are you supposed to do? Of course, you got to fight back.
Yeah.
Defend yourself. But it should never be that fucking serious. Especially people shouldn't be losing their fucking lives at a football game.
Yeah, that's
Like
crazy.
that's sick.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can tolerate a lot. Like you can say any word you want to me. I've been called the N word at a game. Like that right there, I'll laugh at that kind of foolishness. As long as you don't put your hands on me. But like you said, and
Yeah.
they start spitting on you, start throwing drinks, stuff like that to try to irk you. Like there's a time and place where it's like, man, like, I want to hold back. But at the same time, I think about it like, man, is it worth it? I'm a dad. I don't want to go to jail. Who gonna take care of my kids? Stuff like that.
Hmm.
But I'll catch you in the parking lot. I'll catch you outside the gates. I'm not fighting inside that game unless you like punch me in my face. That's different. But
Right.
yeah, I'm not getting down like that. And I'm gonna be honest, and I'm not trying to be funny. Half these videos I watch of these people fighting, can none of them throw hands anyway.
Exactly.
I'm like, man, who taught y'all how to fight? Because some of y'all
Hmm.
don't even know how to fight. So it's comical how I see some of this stuff. But yeah, to have somebody have a gun and get shot and stuff like that. I don't even know where it was. I don't know if it was in the stadium parking lot, but how'd you even get that gun inside? Security is so trash, anyways, for the most part, because you see them, they're on their phones and all this other stuff, and it's just like, man, do your job, man. People's lives are at stake here, and you're too busy worried about what's going on Instagram. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So yeah.
Yep. I agree. And then Melissa says, TL and ML, can we shout out the Corey Lockdown Davis Pick Show on David McNiner's channel, honoring and in remembrance of Corey, Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So tonight, if you guys are up and around, please tune in to David McNiner's channel, where they do the Corey Lockdown Davis Pick'em show in remembrance of Corey. Corey started doing that while he was still here with us, and since he's
Hmm.
passed, they continue to do it in his memory. So make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you guys are subscribed to David McNiner. He's a good one. He's one of the good ones. Also, David, I see that you're driving home. He says all of a sudden it's a blizzard. So please,
Hmm.
please,
Yeah.
please be safe. Get home
Yeah.
safe. Let us know when you get home, please.
Absolutely.
Um, Also, last call, get your numbers in. As you can see, we're just cleaning up loose ends here while you guys enter your numbers. Red Jet has says, regarding Cardcast comment, I agree it's never that serious. Even in these chats too, respect people's opinions. Yes, like man, we don't all have to agree. Like it's okay. Like we can all, that doesn't make you less of a fan, that doesn't make you a fake fan, that doesn't make you all this shit. Like you can have differences of opinion. It's okay. Like that's what makes this fun. That's what makes it better,
Yeah.
is that you get to go back and forth and be fans and talk, but it should never get freaking personal.
No,
Like
it
there's
would
no
suck if we all
reason
had the
for that.
same mind. Like we talked about, like if
Exactly.
we all had the same mind. Like I remember Brooks yesterday on Twitter, he ranked his quarterbacks in the playoffs, and he had like Purdy like fifth. He was getting blasted. Oh, you're a fake fan. Why? Purdy should at least be second after Mahomes. And it's like that's that man's opinion.
Yeah,
Like if he
I
wants,
seen
if
him
he,
say like, that's
yeah,
my
like
opinion, put out your own list.
yeah, put your own list. Like if you want Brock Purdy second, fine. Like people were so sensitive because that man had Brock Purdy like fifth. I'm like that's that man's opinion. It's just I don't know. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like my brother said, you're out there fighting, for a team that don't pay any of your bills, probably don't even know your name. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're fans for entertainment purposes. We love our team and that's as far as should go. As far as me, like I love my team, but I'm not gonna fight somebody because they said F the 49ers.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fight somebody because they think Dallas is better. Like that's just some absolute foolishness.
Yeah. Ty says today's stream is sponsored by Ross, Kohl's, and Marshalls.
For
Hey,
real.
Ross got some good shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Ross got the goods.
Yeah. I resell
Especially if
shoes
you
from
guys come to
Ross.
Vegas and you go to the Ross on the Strip, that shit like 2,
Man.
3 stories. That shit's big.
So one time I was on the strip and I walked in there. I'm like, let me see what they got. They had two pairs of Kyrie Irvings, right? Just sitting in there. Of course, I'm sure there's a defect somewhere, wherever the
Yeah.
case may be. But I bought them for $29. I resold them for 85. Easiest
Damn.
money I made in my life.
Nice. I like it. All right, let's draw these winners. We're going to draw the number for the Bosa first, Fred Warner second, BA third. So hopefully you guys all got your number. This is the last call. Because in a minute, that's going to be it.
Chase Young finally getting a bye week. Yeah, that's crazy, Ronnie.
Yeah, this bye, like, man, we needed this bye week. Like, I needed
Mm-hmm.
this as fans, like we needed it. And then like our team, like, man, because we're getting Eric Armstead back, like, you know, like perfect timing, you know, obviously for this bye week. And like the guys that are healthy, it's been a forever since they had their bye week anyway, you know, so at
Yeah.
least they get a little bit of rest. And then the guys that, you know, are right there, injuries, coming back from injuries, they get, you know, a much needed extra little time. And man, we need it to get as many guys back healthy as we can. And that major number one thing is Eric Armstead.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, we need Eric back. All right. No more numbers after this. Last number is Red Jet Shell, number 12 at 22 after. No more numbers after Shell. All right. Good luck, everybody. Let's draw. Got Bosa, 68. What did I do? It's my pen, guys. I've been having worst time with pens lately, I swear. All right. Fred Warner, 29. Shout out to Huff. And BA, 21.
All right. Let me go through these numbers. Yeah, Chase Young is funny. He got traded to us before having a bye week with the Commanders, and then them having their bye week when he was on our
Yeah.
team. So it was funny. Like that man had no bye week. So this might be very well needed for sure.
Yep.
All right, 68 is the first number. Let's see. Miss Deb got 69.
All righty. Miss Deb gets Bosa.
Okay, next number is 29. Let me scroll down.
Congrats, Miss Debbie.
All right. Keep going up. Looks like the second winner is going to be Tom Bellamy with 26.
Tom gets Fred Warner locked down. Congrats, Tom. You on Twitter, Tom? If so, go ahead and DM me your address if you are.
And then David McNiner hit 21 on the head for IU, so he gets an extra gift.
All right.
You get an extra gift for
McNiner.
driving in the blizzard. Driving the
Yeah.
blizzard, you get an extra gift.
All right. Let's see what we get to add to McNiner. Okay, so go ahead and DM me your address on Twitter, please. Miriah 49 Lee, if you don't follow me already. What am I doing? Oh yeah. Let's see what David McNiner gets. Add in a goodie for him for guessing exactly right. What you gonna get, David?
Diamador Lenore. Yeah.
We got Diamador Lenore autograph. Shout out to you, David. Adding that into your bag. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you guys. Congrats to all the winners. Let me play something for you. Congrats, congrats. Closing thoughts before we get out of here, TL.
Yeah. Excuse me. Everybody leave Jake Moody alone. Um, he's allowed to make a mistake too. I know he's a kicker and everybody he has one job, but he's human. And the man had 84% from his field goal makes as a rookie, which is pretty good, and he only missed one extra point. So, treat all these players the same as far as, you know, having their back when they make a mistake. You know what I mean? And like you said, if he wins us a game in the playoffs, you need to give that man his respect.
Yeah.
And like I said, you have every right to be worried because of the simple fact that he hasn't done it before. We're used to seeing 100% gold out there who was money in the playoffs. So I get it. I get it. But look, he's the. I mean, how can I word this? He's the guy that the team decided to go with and spend a day 2 pick on. So ride with him. You know what I mean? So, like I said, this bye week came at a perfect time. I think we're gonna be. If I was, if I'm Kyle and the coaching staff, and I get it, like you want to spend time with your family too, but on the weekends, I'm gonna assign everybody a job. Like, hey, like let's just say John Myers was my linebackers coach or whatever. Hey, John, I want you to watch the Packer game. Mariah, want you to watch Cowboys game. So and so, Tampa Bay, so on and so forth. So just in case we get whatever opponent we get, we have film on them. We can tell them. I can hear from my staff what we saw. This is what I saw in this game. These are the tales of this offense. These are the tales of this defense, whatever the case may be. So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a good weekend of football. I'm just sitting back with my feet up, just waiting on who we play as an opponent. Be like, who we got. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just like I said before, and I'll say it again. If we play our type of football, if we're on in our bag on offense and defense, and we're healthy, I don't see nobody stopping us. So yeah.
I like it. I like it. Chat. I appreciate you guys as always. Everybody watching that'll watch later. You guys are all appreciated. That's why I'm not even putting it on the screen to
Oh my
give
God,
it time.
John. Oh my
Um,
God.
I will be back tomorrow at 3 Pacific time with Steph Sanchez for the Two Goat Show. And yeah, and I hope everybody has a safe, wonderful rest of your week. Those that I don't see tomorrow, have a great weekend. Have an enjoyable weekends, stress-free weekends, getting to watch football. And like TL said,
Yeah.
getting to find out who our opponent will be.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not scared of anybody either. I have a lot of confidence in this team. I think they have shown us enough this season to be confident in them. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
going to do. I ride with my team, good, bad, ugly, or not.
Yep. And I
So yeah,
love it. I love it that I don't have to worry about our quarterback now whenever he points. When Brock Purdy points, I'm like, oh, that's a touchdown or a first down,
mm-hmm.
something. Now I used to sit back and be like, oh my God, what's going to happen next when there was an old quarterback. So yeah, I love to see it. Love that this offense and defense are both on the same accord, where we can depend on them both and not one depending on the other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, fam. Much love. Appreciate you all. We're out of here. Until next time, faithful.